Okay guys, what's going on? So there's been a lot of talk about a new series that has recently come out, and you guys probably all know it. It's called Interspecies Reviewer. And basically, just to give you guys who don't know a small description on this series, the series is basically about a guy who goes from brothel to brothel rating sex workers on their performance. Wait, one second. Wait, why am I doing this again?
For the content.
Okay, so don't cancel me. But going into this, one of my questions is, has anime gone a little too far with the ecchi? And one thing, does this classify as anime or does it classify as softcore hentai? Not that I have a problem with it. Not saying I watch hentai. Not saying I know what hentai even is. I'm just saying, has this gone too far? And I know we have a whole lot of ecchi anime series like Trinity 7, and we have To Love Ru, and a real popular one, High School DxD. And it does show certain plot points, if you know what I'm saying. But this one and another series I want to mention where I think the change actually happened, it was Testament New Sister Devil. I think that was the series called. That series and this series took it to a new level, basically pushing the boundaries. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I know a lot of people do want to see stuff like that, and some people are like, okay, this is kind of in the wrong category. Like, should this be an anime or should this be classified as a hentai series? And just because it's classified as a hentai series doesn't mean you have to make it as graphic as hentai is. You could keep it the same way, maybe show more, maybe show less, and still classify it in that genre, if that makes sense to you guys. And one thing that people have been talking about is how it did get taken off of Funimation. So I've seen some people who really don't care, some people who think it's funny, and some people who are actually upset that they can't watch it because they were looking forward to watching this series and now they can't watch it on Funimation. And for those people who can't watch it on Funimation, I'm not saying go do something that you shouldn't do, but I'm saying there are other ways to watch it, if you know what I mean. So there's always a way to watch it. So for those people, don't get upset just because it's not on Funimation or Funimation has decided to remove the series. So Funimation did release a small article just talking about the matter and why they removed it. So I'm going to go over that real quick. So the statement that Funimation put out was, after careful consideration, we determined that this series falls outside of our standards. We have the utmost respect for our creators, so rather than substantially alter the content, we felt taking it down was the most respectful choice. So in that statement, I understand what Funimation did there. They wanted to say that they were basically taking it down because they didn't want to change it so much, just because I'd be disrespectful to creator. Yes, that's a very good point. And another reason why I think Funimation did take it down is because it doesn't really fit with Funimation. And I really think that they saw this series and they're like, okay, this is just a little too hardcore for us. This is a little too hardcore for us to dub. I really don't think this falls like under what Funimation is, and I don't think we're really going to go through with this. And maybe it came to a thing where the voice actors and people working on it at Funimation that were doing the dub for it were like, okay, this is kind of, I don't know if I really want my name to be tied to this. Maybe it was something like this. And like me personally, I don't say, okay, well, it was a bad decision on Funimation, or like, oh my gosh, Funimation shouldn't have removed this. How could they do this to us? Why would they take the dub down? Why would they take the whole series down in general? To be honest with me, it's not really that big of a deal. I see some people making it as a big deal and saying, oh, okay, it's just anime and this is what anime is. And I think a lot of people are doing that just to kind of troll Funimation and saying, come on, you guys didn't have to remove it. It's like those people who like want to be sneaky and say, okay, well, it's not hentai, so technically you can put it on there, even though it does really, really push the limits of what ecchi is in anime. Like it honestly really does, because if you look at some episodes, I don't know if you guys have watched the series, but if you actually watch the series, you'll know exactly what I'm saying, because it really does push the limits. Especially like you guys all know, like the scene with the fairy and the measuring thing, that was a little out there. And then the opening and the outro and just what the whole series is about. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad series whatsoever. I'm not going to sit here and talk trash about another work that someone worked on. Well, I'm not going to say that because maybe I have, don't quote me on that, but I'm not just going to attack a series for no reason that is not really wrong. Some people might not agree with the series and the plot just because of what it's about. Okay, it's about this dude going brothel to brothel, raiding these women. Some people might have a problem with that. I know there's a certain community that would actually eat that up, but that's too sensitive of a topic for me to go into. I'm not trying to get canceled out here. But overall, the people who are enjoying that series, good for you. The people who are mad that it got taken off of Funimation, don't worry, there's multiple other ways to watch it. And if you guys want to see a video of me talking about that series or possibly reviewing the series, let me know, because hey, he's a reviewer, I could be a reviewer. Me and him are like totally different when it comes to what we're reviewing. I'll let him do that and I'll do this, and hopefully I don't get canceled. But that is pretty much all I have for this. I just wanted to go over the news and talk about how the series was removed off of Funimation, because I know there's a lot of people who are upset. There's a lot of people who don't know what's going on. There's a lot of people who are talking about it, and maybe this will just help you ease out a little bit, and maybe it will like give you some insight as to what it is. But basically my whole point was, has anime gone too far? Like I mentioned before, we have all this ecchi, and we do have some stuff that kind of pushes the boundaries. So I just want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this pushes the boundaries? Do you guys think, oh, this is anime, we've seen stuff like this before? Or would you guys classify this as like softcore hentai and think it should be put in like a hentai series category and not like anime? If you guys understand what I'm saying. So let me know what you guys think about that, and that's pretty much all I have for this topic. And before we end the video, I just want to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. We now have a new one with the highest pledge now, and that is the Doc. You guys know him, you guys see him around. And we also have Lord Gyro, who is also a Patreon supporter. So Lord Gyro, you had a question for me for this video, and your question is top 5 game systems of all time. So I would have to go Xbox 360, PS2, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, and for the last one I'll have to say Sega Genesis. So those are my top 5 game consoles. I just want to say thank you for the questions. Thank you for everyone who likes and supports the videos. Make sure to subscribe. And one more thing before we sign off. I know I said one more thing before, but just one more thing. I'd like to thank TK Dono. He's also another anime YouTuber who helped me design my whole Discord. So go show him some love. And thank you to all the other people who helped me make my Discord. Lady Corm, Crunch, and everyone else. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting everyone, but thank you all. My Discord will be down in the description, so check that out, and make sure you check out TK Dono. With all that being said, I want you guys to have a good day and peace.